So we'll talk later in the video if it lives up to the sport name. It's the Santa Fe. We think that it does. When they left this off in front of my house, and I kind of viewed it from this angle right here, I thought this week maybe I'd gotten a Mercedes or, you know, Audi SUV instead. It really does have, you know, that great look to it. Also a beautiful color here, and then it definitely is one of the nicer looking SUVs in this class. So Hyundai's one there. Like, it definitely has a Hyundai-esque look, but then it also has a very sleek look where it could be, you know, a much more high-end SUV.
So the interior of this car is an extremely nice place to spend time. It's got stitching down there. This one actually has the brown contrasting up here, which is nice with the cream interior and the black outside. And then this is a very nice material here. It doesn't even really feel like a plastic. Nice door handles, the strip of you know, accent there. Good steering wheel, electroluminescent gauges, which look nice and keep you informed. Then moving over here, this looks, you know, very traditional Hyundai as well. And then come down here to the shifter, and then there's some chrome accents there as well. One thing I will point out, the wood little touch over here is nice. It makes it feel like a, you know, slightly more upscale SUV than you might expect. And then shifting over here, you also get a bit of that wood trim there. And then of course the passenger door just repeats you know, what you see on the driver's door. The seats themselves are very nice, pretty comfortable for a long trip, and they can be had both heated and of course cooled as well. Round view, cool feature. When you put it in reverse, it shows you what would be behind you, and then as you go forward, it shows you what is in front. And then this is pretty cool. You can have it like focus in on any particular area, so you can kind of break out the cameras separately. Pretty standard across all of the, you know, higher end or optioned out Hyundai and Kia product. Moving into the back seat, the second row seats are very, very nice. You also get a nice interior back there. The air vent controls, though, are actually in the third row back there, which was kind of surprising to me. And then of course all of these fold down, and then you do lose a seat here, but you do get this nice, you know, pass-through area with 6 seats rather. This SUV goes, you know, quite far. So there's a course I like to take all the cars I review on that kind of gives you a feel for a lot of different turns. There's not a lot of stops, a lot of sharp turns, some sweepers. So now and see how it goes. Got it in sport mode, so pretty much all the sportiness you can handle. First turn, that's a slow one because you're also using that as an acceleration test. Not bad. Here's the second turn. You can tell, like, Audis are known in the past to have understeered because they're front heavy. You can tell this car has a lot of weight in the front because it does dive in the front. Just, you know, 2 turns in, I can kind of sense that already. I'm going to take this turn a little bit wider and see if that'll help. Having the all-wheel drive model would help as well. They sent the front-wheel drive model here. They do that sometimes. I don't really know why the manufacturers do, but it is what it is. Coming up on turn number 3 here. Yeah, there is just a lot of lean. Not to say it's a bad handling SUV, but I definitely don't think it's earned the sport moniker. The MX-5 is a lot more posed. Obviously the Audi, it's probably as good as most Japanese competitors outside of Mazda, say Toyota or Honda, in keeping its composure. Very comfortable ride too, I will say that. And that's definitely where they've tuned this model. But here, clearly here, when they said sport, they meant small. Not necessarily sport as in sporty. While we're on the subject of that, every time you restart the car, it goes out of you know, either sport or economy mode. Mercedes does this too, and it goes back to kind of the default normal setting, so you have to press the drive select button to change it every time. It's just a minor annoyance, and I'm sure it's for fuel economy reasons, because if you left it in sport all the time, you know, you wouldn't be getting the quoted numbers, which so far I have, so that's definitely a win and a plus for
Hyundai there. Pretty good mileage on this. Now I want to talk about sport-wise something that is very much of a strong point of this car and its needs. I would have preferred the all-wheel drive version, even though I would have lost a little bit of MPG on it. It does torque steer because of all that power from a dog who's never been out of the house before and is just getting out for the first time and jumping all over the place. The only company I know with a front-wheel drive car that's been able to really solve torque steer is kind of Honda, and there may be others. That's just the only one I've driven. So I would recommend getting the all-wheel drive on this, even if for wet weather, even if you don't think you'll, ever fully utilize that. It would be helpful to have. It improves handling and everything like that. So would recommend that for that reason alone.
So that does lead me to the one kind of sticking point with this SUV, as many good things as it has. It does look a lot more like the outside is nicer and the inside is pretty up there with luxury SUVs, and it does have good ride comfort, good control, nice package. But at $40,000 fully loaded, that's quite a bit more expensive than, say, I'll link to the Mitsubishi Outlander at the end. Of course, again, this is closer to a luxury SUV, and I guess if you look at it that way, it could be a good value for you. The other competitor here that some people might not cross-shop, but I want to mention, and I'll have her post that review, is the Mazda CX-9, which is about the same price. I would definitely drive, if you want to kind of be on the lower end, and go with the Japanese competitor, those two vehicles. This is definitely nicer than the Mitsubishi in a lot of ways, but that's a much better value overall as an SUV, so that's something to consider there. So until next time, my speedy racers, drive on.